Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me. So let's get right into the video. My nose is a little bit stuffy, so I apologize if you hear me sniffling a lot. I'm going to try to keep it at a minimum. Okay, so today's video, I actually wanted to talk about why it's so important to have a budget and how faith plays into having a budget. The reason why it's important to have a budget is if you're somebody who grew up not being responsible with your money and not knowing how to manage yourself and money, you find it really difficult to A, hold money, hold the energy of money, and B, to actually save money and to have a plan, a goal, and a purpose for your money. So having a budget kind of gives you a guideline. Now, with that all being said, I don't want you guys to ever think that if I have a budget, I have to be the most rigid person. I can't spend money. Like I have to be this like tight ass about it. You can, sure. I'm speaking from experience because I used to be like this, and it's actually really difficult to maintain this sort of rigid and very strict type of lifestyle when it comes to your money, as opposed to, I wouldn't say loose. I wouldn't say being loose with your money, but give yourself allowance. What I mean by this is when you're making your budget, you have to give yourself money where you can actually still spend. Maybe you want to have a dine out category in your budget so you can actually buy food out or go to dinner with friends, or a local activities category where if you have things that you want to do or a hobby that you want to get into, you can actually put money aside for those things. The reason why I'm saying this is because when we start budgeting, at least for me in the past, when I was budgeting, I used to be such a tight ass. And because I was such a tight ass, it kind of backfired on me because I felt so rigid and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I didn't have space to do things that I wanted. And I felt that I was only working to pay bills and I couldn't enjoy myself, enjoy my money, and enjoy my budgeting. So the reason why this also ties into faith is because, for example, when we make a mistake or when we do something that we know isn't right and lies outside of what we believe in and what God says is right, we're forgiven. God forgives us. For lack of a better term, right? We pray, we ask for forgiveness, and we learn to let go of the feeling of shame or disappointment through prayer. And you can do this through meditation too, right? You just want to feel that sense of release when you kind of come clean about whatever it is that may have happened. That giveaway, that leeway where you're able to feel comfortable, you're able to feel like, okay, I can let this go. I know that I'm not a bad person. I know that I've done this wrong, but it doesn't take away from me being human, and it doesn't make me kind of self-hate and self-sabotage for the rest of my life. The same thing applies to your budget. You need to give yourself space. You need to give yourself an allowance where you feel like you can breathe and you feel like you can enjoy your budget. Because at the end of the day, yes, you go to work and everything, right? But God is the one who's providing you with this sustenance, this finance, the money. And because he's giving it to you, he still wants you to be able to A, yes, take care of your responsibilities, but B, actually enjoy the money that he's giving you. Actually enjoy the life that you're trying to create and live in purpose. Another thing too that I want to touch on is about giving. I think it's also really important to have a giving aspect in your budgeting because it's sort of hand in hand with tithing. And not everybody has to tithe. Like if you're Christian or not, there's something called tithing where you give like 10% of your pay to like the church or the less fortunate, whatever you want to call it. Personally, I used to tithe when I was in church. This was a long time ago. And I tithed before there's a church close by to my place, and I tithe. But sometimes when I was adjusting my budget and things were fluctuating, I wasn't able to. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that you're a horrible person if you're not able to tithe or give to the needy or the poor. But I do think having a category in your budget for giving And that could be like a homeless person, that could be to an animal shelter, that could be to, human shelter or a food bank or something that shows that you're giving back and that you're grateful for the money that you're receiving and that you're able to give back to other people. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can start with like $5. Okay, $5 every single paycheck. I want to give back to somebody. It makes you feel good because you feel like you're actually making a difference in someone or someplace, someone's life, or maybe in some place. And you feel like, I'm so grateful to receive this money, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to actually give to somebody because my cup is overflowing. So those were the two things that I really wanted to touch on, is giving back and giving yourself an allowance, giving yourself categories in your budget that allows you to still enjoy life and not feel so rigid and restrictive of your money. Yeah, I don't really have too much to talk about. We are almost at the end of the month. I have successfully been able to save $250 out of the $500 for the month of March. So excited. I'll put it somewhere here. And I'm so looking forward to the end of March because we are knocking down certain categories in our first month in our emergency fund. And it just makes me so excited to see the numbers go down and categories being filled like officially for the month of March. And I hope you guys are doing it too. If you are, I would love to know. Leave a comment down below. And that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have anything to say, comment, question, leave it down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.